Hello everyone. Today in this video we'll calculate the dividends with two-stage growth. Here you can see the formula where you can easily calculate the two-stage by drawing the timeline. Uh, so if you just plug the value on that formula, you can easily get the answer. But in this video, my aim is to show you how you can do it in Excel sheet. So either way, you can do it by using calculator by this formula, or you can also use the Excel sheet to solve this problem. Right? Let's start doing together. Right. So what are the information here? Company Z Prime's earnings and dividends per share are expected to grow by 4% a year. Okay. Its growth will stop after 4 years. Right? So until 4 years, we have one information here, right? So let's start like expected grow by 4%. So my growth rate is 4%, right? And it says its growth will stop after 4 years. So my dividend, it should my D0 and then D1, D2, right? Or I can write here D1, make it easy. D2, D3, and D4. Okay. So why I'm starting with D1 because it's already given to you. Assume next year's dividend is 2. So we can start from dividend 1 instead of D0. There should be D0 in your timeline, right? We have already information for D1 too. So we start from D1. We have growth rate 0.04. So now for D2, how you can calculate the growth rate? You know that, right? For D1. D0 plus 1 plus I to the power for that year, right? So it should be like D1 and then you multiply the growth 1 plus growth rate, right? You get your D2 here. So in Excel, if you fix it, this growth rate, you can just drag the value until D4 and you will get the value for D3 and D4. And this is the change of growth rate. So we have D3, we have D4 here, we have D2, right? So for the dividend, for the 4 years, we just calculated our value. All right, what's next? In year 5 and afterward, it will pay out all earnings as dividends, right? Assume next year's dividend is 2, we have done that. The cost of equity is 12%, which is my discount rate. The next year's EPS is 9. So this next year's EPS is 9. That means here my D1 is EPS 9, right? And it says all in year 5. So D5 is actually your EPS 5, right? Because all of your EPS are paying as a dividend. So D5 is D5, right? Also, there is no growth after 4 years. So technically, dividend 4 and dividend 5 is almost equal. So EPS 4 is technically EPS 5, right? Because there is no growth on there. So if there is EPS 1, if you have like in the question there is EPS 9, is EPS 1 is 9, you see? Then what should be our EPS 4? If for the period of 1 9 and there is 9 for the 4, we just compound it by 1 plus 0.04 and the rate should be 3, right? So this 10.12 is my EPS 4, right? Which one is which is in the year of 4. Right? I just the year here to show you. Okay. So this 4 is actually my terminal value. I can say it as a terminal value, right? So, so this is my EPS 4, right? So now I have to like discount it to get my EPS, right? On that year. So for the perpetuity, what we do, like if there is no growth, we for the terminal value, we make it discount as R minus G, right? So there is no G. So we have only the cost of equity is 12% for that perpetuity part, right? So for 12%. So we just multiply by this 2. So this 84 actually your terminal value for the from the year 4 to afterward. So to get the price of this one, we can just add it in the year 4. Okay. This is not I'm not doing like systematic in exam process. I'm just showing how you just calculate it. You can arrange it in your preference order. Okay. So for these two, so in my year 5, I have two value. For year 4, 86. Okay. So now for the price, we have to just discount it with the our cost of equity, right? For the different for 4, we have to discount it from 4 to 0, from 3 to 1, 2 to 1, and 1 to 1, right? So let's write it down here for all the year 1, and your dividend, your discount rate, and your price or present value, whatever you say. Okay. So year 1, year 2, year 3, and we have year 4. So for year 1, we have our value 2. Uh, year 2, we have value 2.08. In year 3, we have 2.1632. And year 4, we have 86, right? Dividend 4 and the EPS, we just sum up these two and we get 86.61453. All right. And we have our rate, cost of equity 12%. So the equity is 12%. Now we need to calculate the present value here to get the price. So what's the specification here? We have to click on rate, and then we have to click the number of years here, and then we put a 0 because there's no payment, and there is a payment for 2. So put negative 2, right? There's a okay. So we can just click on this one. All right. So this is the present value for this 2 with the cost of equity 12%. So we can fix it. We can fix the uh, rate here. So fix this. So to fix it, you need to put $sign before the number of your column and the letter of your column just to make this. Okay, so now you can just drag down it to the year 4, and you have all the present value for each of the 4 years. And I just now sum up all the value here to get my price of the. You get it? 60.03. All right. So the intuition is like you find out the all the dividends for the 4 years, and for the afterwards for the second stage, you just make some intuition here because B5 is equals to actually your EPS 5. Well, if there is, as there is no growth, so you are actually calculating the EPS 4, right? And after calculating it, you just get your like present value for with the no discount, like for the pricing. I mean the terminal value or the price without any growth. You just divide it by the cost of equity 0.12, and then you got all of your values for the 4 years, and then you get the present value or the discounting just to get the price here. All right. So Either way you can do it. You can use this Excel sheet, or you can use that formula and do it in your calculator. uh, both approach will give you the same answer. All right. Still, if you have any question, feel free to reach me. We can always discuss it in our office hour.